Coming to you from the Deep South, this is the Blue Collar Leadership Podcast. High-impact leadership is not reserved for leaders, and it has nothing to do with your position, title, or rank. However, it does have everything to do with your character. It's time to climb to the next level and beyond, personally and professionally. Now, let's start making it happen with your host, Max Story.
Hello again, everyone. Hope you guys are making things happen wherever you're at. Today, I want to talk to you about developing strengths and weaknesses. You often hear, or I often hear, people talking about developing your weakness, develop your weakness. When you think about children, when they get their report card, how they're doing in school, most of the parents jump on their weakness. Wherever they're making the lowest grade, that's where we need to work on the most, kind of thing. And it carries through into the adult life. And most people don't truly understand this, so I want to just help you understand it and make it real clear. You need to work on your strengths and your weaknesses. But there's a key principle for where you do that. So right quick, and then we'll talk about it. Relative to your strengths, you want to work on your strengths in your area of competency, meaning wherever you're naturally good at, you're naturally gifted and talented relative to your skills, your abilities, your talents, those sort of things. Wherever your strength is at, that's where you need to focus. Forget about the weakness. You're weak there because you're not naturally good at it. So the best you're ever going to do is maybe be average if you work really hard. But those things you're already really, really good at, if you'll develop those talents, skills, and get into that lane, you're going to become exceptional with a lot of intentional effort. So that's where you work on your strength relative to your competency, because that will launch you like a rocket. Then relative to your weakness, you do need to work on your weakness, but not relative to your competency, relative to your character. And so a lot of people don't even understand they have weaknesses in character. We all do. If we're not reading leadership content, personal growth and development books to help us see around the blind spots, we're not even going to know we need to work in this area. But wherever we're weakest relative to character, that's also where we need to work. And that's actually where we need to work the most, because our areas of weakness relative to character, they're not going to launch us like a rocket. They're going to hold us in place like a big, huge anchor, like a big anchor off of an aircraft carrier. That's what it's going to be dragging. You're going to be dragging that kind of weight through the water, trying to move relative to your areas of weakness in character. So a lot of people, they get it wrong. They work on a lot of them. What happens is they don't even look at character. Most people want to get ahead. They go get another degree. They go get another certification. Wherever they are, they figure out, how can I get ahead? So I go get some more competency. When most of the time, most people have enough competency. The problem is they don't have enough character. So ultimately, and I talk about that a lot in a lot of different episodes, you'll hear me talk about that, because remember, the 87% of our results and our influence come from our character, based on studies from Harvard and Stanford research studies. And only 13% comes from competency. But most people focus on competency. And again, you have to have a competency. But character is the key. So again, one more time, we're going to wrap this segment up today. Pretty short. Relative to character, work on your weakness. Relative to competency, work on your strength. And that's what happened with me. When I started reading leadership books in 2008, I had 20 years of experience, and all of it intentionally was relative to my competency. I always wanted to learn more about the next job. Whatever job I was doing, I wanted to learn that and learn other jobs, and raise my hand and volunteer to take on all kinds of responsibilities. Learn. That's how I knew to get ahead, and I would go wherever the bosses told me to go. I would do whatever job they wanted me to do. I was just learning. There's nothing wrong with that, except for I was never working necessarily on a strength until I discovered lean, and then I got the opportunity to lead lean transformation, and then I started leading Kaizen events and became a lean consultant, and I was getting honed in on my competency, and I started reading a lot of books focused on my competency. But it was only in 2008, 20 years into my career, that I started reading leadership development, personal growth books. And I've shared that story on some of the other episodes. But that's when I learned to work on my weakness relative to character. That's when I started focusing on we instead of me. That's when I started addressing my temper, which I hardly have a temper anymore. It's almost zero. Not quite. I'm going to always have an issue. But basically, it's almost zero. And it used to be on a scale of 1 to 10. It was usually a 10. And today it's a 1 or a less most all the time. So I've done a lot of work in that area. How I speak to people, how I interact with people. All of that's character growth and character development. But those were all weaknesses before because I was just trying to get ahead. So the next episode, I'm going to talk to you about the difference between success and significance. And when I started understanding and learning about that, that caused me to even want to do more character work. So I'm going to wrap this one up today. But just remember, your character's going to hold you back in the weak areas all the time. And your competency in your strong areas is what's going to launch you like a rocket. So you've hit both of those in the right area. Get really ready because you're about to go somewhere. So have a great day. Talk to you next time.
Make it happen or someone else will. It might as well be you. Are you serious about taking your career and your life to the next level and beyond? Check out Max Story's Blue Collar Leadership series books and others, now available on audio, along with paperback and ebooks at Amazon, iTunes, and Audible. Please visit bluecollarleadership.com to learn about Max books, programs, special offers, certifications, and more. Thank you for listening to the Blue Collar Leadership Podcast.